Boom! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Jesus Christ, porn bots are back. Hold on. Hide user. Fucking. What the hell? Is that how things are going to start? What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at one I've been very, very excited to finally review, and I've had a variant of this beer before. I've reviewed a variant of this beer before, but today I got sent this beer by Mr. Lee, not the real Gerard Butler. He sent me a nice little care package a while ago with a bunch of different Peticolas beers, and I reviewed all those. And one of them in there was a beer called the Duke. It's a Barleywine ale that's amazing, absolutely fantastic. If you're a fan of barley wines, I recommend the Duke to be on your list for beers to try because it's an absolutely fantastic beer. Yeah, I know they were starting all early, but today Lee sent me over a 4-pack of the peach variant, which I saw that they did a peach variant a while ago, and I've been wanting to get my hands on it, and Lee finally told me that this variant was available, so he went over to the brewery, picked me up a 4-pack, and he was able to ship it to me and all that kind of stuff, and now I can finally do a review on it. So the Peach Duke is a 12% ABV barley wine. Barley wines are very, very unique and just overall probably some of the most complex and some of my favorite beers of all time. Just because there's a really, really heavy malt sweetness to it, depending on the style of barley wine. You can have blonde barley wines, English barley wines, American barley wines. Everybody has their own different idea of what their version of a barley wine will taste like. And barley wines are just absolutely fantastic. There's a booziness that comes through that balances really, really well with like the malty sweetness. Of course, there's 3 different kind of variants of like a wine-like ale. So, of course, you got your barley wine, which is mostly going to be heavy barley in there. Mostly, now I would say good, almost all of it is going to be barley. I'm going to want to say they probably add some other grains in there to do it, but it's like 95% barley in there. And then you got oat wines, which are, of course, instead of barley, you're using oats. You can use flaked oats, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, you got a wheat wine, of course, too, which is the same thing. So you got your barley, wheat, and your oat wines, and they're all really, really unique in their own separate way. But barley wines have turned into some of my favorite styles of beer out there. There are so much different things that can be done with them when it comes to different flavors that you can add with it, possible fruits to add with it, or just barrel aging them is always a really good thing as well because it adds so much more complexity. But yeah, I don't think I've had a really bad barley wine before. I mean, some of them have been to the point where they're not for me, a little bit more drier. But when it comes to a really good barley wine that has that really nice upfront malty sweetness from it, plus with that like kind of boozy kick, it's just outstanding. Yeah, wheat wines are great face meat. So with this one being a 12%, of course you know by now that I would not consider this beer sessionable. This on the can it says it's considered a blonde barley wine, so it makes me think of a lot of, if they added different malts in this one, they're probably lighter malts too. They didn't add some really darker malts to kind of do with anything with the color. All like it says on the description of the can, a sweet light malt rides waves of delicate hops in this all year big beer. So I'm pretty damn excited to give this one a try. So let's crack this thing open, see what we get on the nose. From what I remember, the Duke had a really, really nice malty sweetness. It was almost seemed lighter. That it didn't have as much like of a kick in the face like some of the higher ABV barley wines that I've had. But I think this is just going to be absolutely fantastic. So let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose, because I'm really curious of what that peach does with it. So let's see. Oh yeah, definitely getting that really nice malty sweetness coming up on the nose. Definitely a lot of barley. I'm trying to see if you can get the peach on the nose. I don't know if they add the peach in there to kind of help with aromas. You possibly can help with getting some of those peach notes in there as well, with of course using different hops that kind of bring off peachy aromas and all that stuff. So they could have added a first wort to kind of help with bitterness a little bit to balance out the maltiness from it. Of course, you want something really balanced. You don't want it too sweet. So of course, most likely there was a first wort hop just to kind of to tone down that little bit of a malty sweet backbone that it's really, really going to have. So, but I'm really curious on what stage they did the peach in. If they use extracts, if they actually condition it on peaches itself. I don't know, but it smells absolutely delicious. So I'll be drinking this out of my 311 tulip glass this afternoon, and let's pour this thing and see what it's all about. Oh yeah, really, really nice, almost golden amber kind of color to it. decent amount of light, like a light brownish, tannish head to it. See if I can pour the whole entire thing in there. I think I can. There we go. So most likely, if you get this over at Peticolas, when it comes to either getting on tap, you're most likely going to get it in a 10-ounce pour. Anything when it comes to a higher ABV, if you go to a brewery, they're going to give you a 10-ounce pour of it. That's just how it is. It's going to be a little bit more money, of course, but you're getting smaller serving sizes because there's a lot more alcohol. But looking at this color right there, has a really beautiful, like, golden amber color. Head kind of dissipated pretty quick. Still getting that very, very strong malty backbone to it. Not really getting much of the peach for me. I don't know. It's not really giving me peach aromas, but it's definitely giving me just very, very strong malty sweetness. But I think we might get more of the peach notes on the palate instead. But let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So, cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that is something. That is definitely something. Oh, that is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Just because you get that malty sweetness. So, yeah, the peach is definitely coming in more of on the palate, on the flavors and everything you're getting on the tongue. Not anything when it comes to aromas, which I'm not surprised if it's conditioned on peaches. They most likely just did it so it's the flavors and not bringing in any specific aromas. But it's boozy, it's strong, it's sweet. That kind of peach note kind of blends in with that malty sweetness really well. It's not like any like candied peach or anything like that. It's like a more of a fresher peach. The peach notes that I get, it's like when you're eating a peach, you know how it kind of starts tasting a little bit different the closer you get to the pit. To me, that peach flavor is that closer to the pit kind of peach for me. But it balances so well with that kind of just very, very strong malty backbone that this thing has. It's very complex. You can possibly get a little bit of spice notes coming through as well. But it's just amazing. Definitely, you can tell that they add some clearing agents in there, what it could be gelatin or all the kinds of other stuff in there. Yeah, I definitely agree, Face Me. I think it should be used a lot more just because it can do so many different things, and it's very, very well balanced with this one, and it's overall just fantastic. God, that is good. That is really good. So, let's look here at Untappd, of course. Let's see what they show for similar beers with this one. Yeah, I'm not liking this similar beers list for the Peach Duke. So let's go to my beer history on Untappd, because unfortunately, if you're using it on the app, you're not able to really see a similar beers list. But if you use Untappd on through a browser and everything like that, it'll give you similar beers. Sometimes they'll give you stuff from home brewers. I don't know. It's a weird kind of selection that they give you. So looking at this one, it says it's a Barleywine English, so it's an English barley wine. So we're going to look under Barleywine English. I've had 10 of them so far, but let's look and see what we can find here with different breweries making this kind of a style and everything like that. So, okay, this is an interesting one. So here in Chicago, Revolution Brewing Company makes something called the Strawberry Jackets. Their straight jacket is their token barley wine and everything like that. But I would not be surprised if they ever made a peach jacket. So if you're looking for that fruit barley wine kind of mix, Revolution makes some really, really good stuff like that. So if you're ever in the Chicagoland area, possibly you'd be able to get your hands on something from Revolution. That strawberry jacket, it's not going to be exactly the same, but you're going to still have that same barley wine base with a fruitiness in there. And I think that one was absolutely fantastic. I was a big fan of that one. But let's see what else. Other breweries that are making some barley wine. So we got Adroit Theory with their Cold Nights. Three Sheeps Brewing Company makes one called the Deeply Rooted. Fair State Brewing Cooperative makes one called Life Isn't Fair. Of course, we got a brewery that's well known for making barley wines. You got Firestone Walker, and this one was their 2018 Sukaba, and that one was just in your face, kind of crazy. That was Firestone Walker is definitely doing some crazy stuff over there when it comes to barrel aging barley wines, having some multiple year old stuff that they're giving people, and it's just really, really cool. What else we got? The Bourbon Barrel Louis from Westbound and Down. Of course, the Waving at Strangers from Noon Whistle if you're here in Illinois. Let's see, Elementary Brewing Company with the Figgy Pudding is more of, I would definitely put that as like a holiday barley wine. So if you're looking for something that could possibly bring to a family gathering around the holidays, and like that Figgy Pudding might be an option. And then of course we got a really well known one with Goose Island with their Bourbon County brand barley wine, which I'm not sure if that one is on this year's release. But if I'm looking at this one and trying to figure out what is going to be the most similar to this one, I wouldn't choose any of these really, because it's very specific. You got the peach in there, and then you got the barley wine base. So if I had to choose one on my beer history that would give you kind of similar flavors, even though it's going to be different, I'd probably choose the strawberry jacket, just because English barley wine base, fruited kind of aging on there, so you'll get the fruit notes coming through. It's, of course, the peach and the strawberry will be giving you different flavors, but you'll get that kind of same situation where you'll be getting the barley wine notes, you'll be getting the heavy maltiness, the booziness, and then you'll be getting those like fruitier notes that kind of help just make it an overall really, really well-balanced drink. And so if I would not be surprised if, I don't remember when we had that, Dad. I'm not sure, but I can't think of a style peach wouldn't complement well. Yeah, I definitely agree, Face Mate. But so if I would not be surprised if Revolution made different kind of variants of the jacket. So they might have a peach jacket that I don't know about. So if you can get your hands on that, I might actually look into that a little bit later. But anything from the jacket line, I think, from Revolution, I think is going to be a good kind of alternative to this guy as well. So, with all that being said, let's start looking over here and seeing what other people are rating this guy and see if there's anybody of my friends that should check this one in. I know there's at least one other person, because when Lee sent me the 4-pack, I gave 2 to me, 2 to my father. So, he was able to drink some. So, if I look at my friends list, of course, we got my father who checked this one in saying he gave it a 3.75 and it said smooth, doesn't taste like a 12%. Thanks to Lee for sending this from Texas. Yeah, so I'm actually surprised he gave it a 3.75. I know he's a big fan of barley wines too. So, but let's see here. Let's before we look at the global ratings and all that stuff, let's read what they say as a description. Of course, it says a version of our barley wine, the Duke, aged with a good amount of peaches. Yeah, and from what I was looking at on the can, I guess this beer had inspiration from a Wisconsin brewer. I don't know specifically what brewer it was, but it possibly could have been New Glarus. I don't know. I don't think I've seen New Glarus come out with a barley wine before. I'm trying to think of other Wisconsin breweries that have come out with barley wines before that maybe they saw it and was inspired by it. I don't know. But let's look here and see. So yeah, description is pretty self-explanatory. It shows right here 12% ABV, like I already stated. That 12% definitely puts it out of the realm of being sessionable to me. After this one glass, you're definitely going to be feeling something, either a warmth, fuzzy feeling, or possibly a little bit of a buzz. But that set also says 35 IBUs, which is pretty low on the bitterness scale when it comes to hops in there. Of course, they most likely, I can see the addition of possibly an early boil / first wort hop addition to this one, just to kind of help get your bittering in there. Plus, I don't think there was really any dry hopping done with this one. I don't think it was necessary. So maybe just a small amount of hops in there to kind of bring in some of those aromas / flavors that they want in there for bittering and all that kind of stuff. But then with over 114 ratings, so when they do the Peach Duke, it's a very, very small release. So this one only has 114 ratings on it. With all those 114 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.12 out of 5, which is pretty damn fantastic for having that such a low of a rating scale. So let's see what people are saying about this with the global rating. So if I remember correctly, this is actually on tap over at Peticolas right now, because I'm looking at the check-in. The people are checking this one in while watching the World Cup and everything like that at Peticolas right now. So this person checked it in 5 hours ago, so pretty early in the day. And he gave it a 4.25, purchased it on draft over at Peticolas. So anything you get from Peticolas is most likely only going to be available at the brewery. I don't think they really have much distribution when it comes to being at liquor stores or bottle shops around the Texas area. And even I don't think there's any really distribution that they do at all. So if you want to possibly get your hands on stuff from Peticolas, you're going to have to go over to the brewery or know somebody who's close to it and they can go over there and pick stuff up for you. What else do we got here? This person gave it a 4.25. Whoa. So this guy had 4 of them. Holy mother Jesus Christ. So this guy had 4 Peach Dukes in one sitting of Peticolas. Damn. It's the same guy checking it in 4 times. So he's watching the soccer match with USA and everything like that. So he had 4 of these. So I could bet you a lot of money right now that he's feeling pretty damn he is feeling pretty damn good, because 4 10-ounce pours of this 12%, there's a buzz that's definitely going to be happening. He's warm and fuzzy. He's just having a good day. What else do we got here? This person checked it in, of course. It looks like he purchased at Peticolas. Gave it a 3.5 out of 5. We got a 3.25 out of 5. We got a 4 here from purchased at Peticolas. So all these purchasing locations are going to be at Peticolas most likely. So let's see. We got a 3.75. We got a 4, 4.25, 4.5, 4.5. Let's see, 4 saying peachy. Where's the barley wine burn? Delicious. Nothing. Nonetheless, thanks Cody B, which is probably their friend who got it. So, and then let's do 2 more. We got a 3.75 here saying more peachy than barley winey, which I think it's pretty well balanced. I wouldn't say it's more peachy than barley wine. You still get, it's very, very hard to get rid of that very, very strong barley malt, like just in your face base when it comes to booziness and maltiness that comes hit you in the face. So when it comes to people saying it's more peachy, I wouldn't really agree, because it's almost impossible to get rid of that very, very strong malty backbone that this has. But hey, some people may have just different taste buds and everything like that. And the last one we're going to look at is a 4 out of 5, purchased at Peticolas on draft. So a lot of people are drinking this one on tap over at Peticolas right now. Yeah, that could possibly be a USA loss. So maybe he's drowning in sorrows of multiple glasses of some peach Duke. But he's going to be, hopefully that dude's not driving, because he's going to be feeling something, that's for sure. But with all that being said, yeah, ratings are pretty good on this one, I would say. Some 3.75, some 3.5s, but some really good ratings on some 4s and all that kind of stuff like that. So let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings on our end with this guy. And the first thing we like to look at is can art. And I've said this about Peticolas before. They really don't go out of their way when it comes to making very intricate and detailed can art. I mean, a lot of their beers really have that similar theme to it, where it's, you got the logo up front, you got the line of whatever color to decide to choose, depending on the beer that they have. So the Duke, I believe, is still that golden line in it. So the golden line on the bottom, which is the Duke, but then they slap on like this. Oh, you can't see it because whitewash. There it is. But you got the peach stamp on there, and then they have like the kind of the cross lines on there. But all of them seem to be like peach colors, and there's little peaches all over the place. So it's a nice touch. I've never really had a problem when it comes to the branding and all that kind of stuff with Peticolas. But if it had to be something that is going to be catching my attention, to be honest, if I didn't know about Peticolas at all, this would probably be a beer that I would kind of miss, to be honest, just because there's nothing really crazy about it when it comes to eye-catching feels and all that kind of stuff like that, or seeing it at a liquor store or bottle shop and have it just be slapping you in the face, even though it's not available at a liquor store or bottle shop, just because it's mostly only available at the brewery. I think if they did something with distribution on their end, to me, I would change up how they kind of market the beers a little bit, change things up just slightly, but make it a little bit more eye-catching, or maybe just do something like that, or maybe a little bit more detailed stuff going on. Who knows? But for something that you can only get at a brewery, of course, then really can't put a judge on that. So for can art, I'll give it like a 3.75 out of 5 for can art. It's not bad, but it's not something that's like would totally catch my attention if I saw it at a liquor store or bottle shop. So let's see here. If I got this beer in a flight over at Peticolas Brewing Company, would I get another one? Absolutely. This is an absolutely fantastic barley wine. Another really, really good beer from Peticolas. I don't think I've had a bad beer from them, to be honest. So knowing that they're doing some pretty great stuff over there. So this would probably be one that I'd get a 4-pack to bring home too. I don't know if this stuff really cellars really well. It might. I know cellaring usually happens a lot easier and better in bottles, so cellaring cans might be a weird situation. I don't know if you'll get metallic notes in there from the aluminum in the can. But this would definitely one that I'd try to bring like a 4-pack or 2 home just to have in the fridge because it's absolutely delicious and fan-freaking-tastic. So, final rating on this guy. I'm going to give this a very, very solid 9.25, between 9.25 and 9.5. I think I'm leaning more towards a 9.5 with this one. It's absolutely amazing. If you can get your hands on this one, I would highly, highly recommend it. Of course, if anybody wants to hit up Lee and see if they can get some shipped out to them, you might have to pay for it, but Lee's down by Peticolas pretty often, so who knows. Lee, don't yell at me if I send a lot of people your way, but if people want to try this one, you may need to be the middleman with this guy. But overall, another fantastic beer from Peticolas. This one is just as good as the original Duke, so big shouts to Peticolas for coming out with this one. I'm really curious if they have other variants of the Duke itself. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it to see if they do any other variants of the Duke, because I want to try every single one of them because they're absolutely delicious. But other than that, I think that is pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button and help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live during the review. I got a review plan for you guys for tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. Plus, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a drawing for the November Patreon giveaway, so keep an eye out for that. So I'll be doing the drawing for that. So whoever wants to win a 4-pack, you may still have the opportunity to win for next month, but as of right now, the people that are on the Patreon right now are going to be the ones that are going to be in the drawing for November's giveaway. If you want to get on the next one, you can join the Patreon, all the kind of stuff like that. But of course, if you want to see what I'm doing when it comes to social media, you can shoot me a follow on my Instagram. You'll see what I'm be reviewing and all that kind of stuff like that. Plus, you'll see a little bit behind the scenes stuff we're doing over at the brewery over at Fibs. And then, of course, if you haven't added me yet on Untapped, I always recommend to shoot me a friend request over there as well. It's a fantastic platform. They do a bunch of cool things over on Untapped. I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers because it's pretty much what it is. You can check in beers, get badges, and there's so many different features when it comes to what's on Untapped, just to kind of explore and have a fun time with. It's a really, really cool platform. I highly recommend any craft beer lover to get on there. And if you haven't shot me a friend request yet, link to my profile is down in the description below. But last but not least, of course, talked about it earlier, the best way that I recommend anybody who wants to help support me and help me do what I do is to get yourself over to the Patreon and join over there. It's a small group of people, but working on growing it a little bit more and possibly get things moving a little bit quicker. So if you want to take advantage of all that stuff over there, I do monthly 4-pack giveaways of Illinois exclusive craft beer. Plus, planning on doing some other giveaways, possibly collaborating with a little bit of breweries, doing giveaways with that. And then, of course, different content creators when it comes to the craft beer world as well. So, plus, once things get a little bit moving down there, you possibly see me releasing possible merch, coasters, koozies, glassware, all the kind of stuff, and a beer helmet for Face Meat. He really wants the beer helmet, and I'm seeing what I can do about that one. But other than that, that is what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out again. You guys are awesome. Thank you everybody who's going to be tuning in on the replay as well. You guys are fantastic. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.